going to try one more time. Okay, going. Yay. Okay, this is lesson 1. What I write, you write. When you study for quizzes and tests, you will go through your notebook and you will study your notes as well. So it's important that you take good notes, okay? Okay, here we go. So the first thing I want to talk about is this relation right here, okay? So honestly, I've never seen this come up in this course. I just know that sometimes they say here's a relation and it's just a set of ordered pairs. So that's not super important. Function is super important, okay? So take your highlighter or box it or whatever. So a function is something where everything in A goes exactly to one element in B, okay? Now the easiest way to say this is this, okay? No x values repeat. If the x's don't repeat, then it's a function. If they do repeat, then it's not a function, okay? Okay, so domain, these are all things that you need to make sure you have memorized, okay? So domain is what comes in. You put in the domain. And domain is typically a list of the x values. It's what comes in, okay? The range is what comes out, and those are typically the y values. Okay? Okay, so everybody go with example 1. Is this a function? Okay, everybody watch right here and look. See this line right here? It starts at 1 and it goes to 1. So that would be the ordered pair 1, 1. The next line starts at a 2 and it goes to a 5. The next one starts at a 3 and it goes to a 4. And the next one starts at a 4 and it goes to a 5. Now, this is a collection of things, you guys. So what you need to do is you need to put braces around them like that, okay? Now, you wouldn't have to do that, honestly, unless they asked you to list it as a set of ordered pairs. I'm just trying to show you. So everybody look right here. Is this a function? Look at the x's. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all different. So is it a function? Everybody tell me yes or no. Yeah. Yes, it is. Okay, everybody listen for just a second. I know this is really strange, but I like my students to shout the answers out. I want you to be actively involved. So if you sit in the room and you never speak out during the lesson, you're not doing what I'm asking you to do. So I'm going to be shouting questions at you all the time, and I expect you to be shouting the answers back so we're communicating and everybody's thinking and we're actively involved, okay? Okay, so read the directions. If it is a function, list the domain and the range. Okay, so everybody go D equals. That stands for domain equals. Then I want you to make that symbol again. That's a brace is what that's called. Then you list the x values, which are 1, 2, 3, and 4. Close your brace. Then the range, like we said before, is a list of y values. So go r equals and make a brace. Then you list the y's, which are 1, 5, 4. Now, guys, there's another 5. Should I list it? Do you remember? You don't list it, okay? So close it off, finish your brace, and you're good. Highlight the domain because it's an answer. Highlight the range because it's an answer, and you're done. Okay? Look at the domain. I wrote 1, 2, 3, 4. What if you wrote 4, 2, 1, 3? Would that be okay? Yeah. Yep. So it doesn't matter. Okay? Okay, everybody look at question B. 0, 1, 2, 2. Every single person in the room, yes or no? No. No. Okay? So the answer is no. I'm going to highlight my answer and I'm done because I only have to list the domain and range if it's a function. Okay? Let's look at the next one. Question C. Look at the x's. 0, 1, 2, 3. Everybody talk to me. Yes. Yes, it is. So everybody write yes. Now we have to list the domain. So domain equals, put your brace, then go 0, 1, 2, 3 in any order. I love you to keep it in the same order because I want to grade quickly, but if you mixed them up, you would get credit. Range is all of the y's, which is 0, 2, 4, and 6. You're done, and everything's great. You guys, in this class and in Math 1050, you have to be so careful with your notation. It's a very high level of expectation that you'll be writing things properly. For example, if you don't have braces around the domain and range, you're not going to get credit for it. So you have to be very precise in how you write things, okay? Okay, everybody look at question 2. Is it a function? Okay, so look at this. See this 2 and this 1? This is telling you when x is 2, then y is 1. So you have the point 2, 1. The next one tells you 2, 2, and the next one tells you 2, 3. If they did ask me to write them as a set of points, guys, I would have to put braces around them like that, which they're not asking me, so technically I don't need to. Everybody look, 2, 2, 2, yes or no? No, and you're done. That's all you have to do. Very simple, right? Look at question B. What I want to do is I want you to list all of these points. See this guy right here? That is -3 because I went left 3 and up 2. So everybody go -3, 2. The next point is left 2, that's -2, up 1, that's +1. The next one is left 1, that's -1, not up or down, that's 0. The next one is 0, didn't go right or left, down 1 is -1. The next one is right 1, didn't go up or down, so that's a 0. The next one is right 2, up 1. And the next one is right 3, up 2. Now I want you to put braces around it. They're asking us, is it a function? Everybody look at the x's. -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Everybody in the room, yes or no? Yes, yes it is. You're done. They didn't ask to list domain and range. They're just asking yes or no. Now I want somebody to talk to me. Did I really have to write all those points down?
No.
Did I really have to do that?
No.
No. What else could I have done?
Just like highlighting the dots.
You could have highlighted the dots, but what would that have done?
It would just show that there aren't any repeating x's.
There are no repeating x's, but how would highlighting them show that? Talk to me more. You're right, and I'm wanting you to expand.
Can you go vertical lines to show that it only hits one?
It's called that. What's it called, bud? It's called the vertical line test. Everybody grab your pencil and draw a vertical line right there. Imagine grabbing that vertical line and dragging it to the right and to the left. Is it ever going to hit a point more than once? No. Is it a function? Yes. Everybody, well, don't add a point, but just watch me. Look right here. What if there was a point there and there? Then when I listed it, I would have 3, 2. This guy right here would be 3, -2. Would it then be a function?
No.
No. So if you hit 2 dots, the x's of those dots are the same, which means it's not a function. That's why the vertical line test works. Who says, I understand? Raise your hand. Let's see up high. Good. Did you have a question, bud?
I had a question.
Go ahead.
Like when you're doing a point,
Uh-huh.
like if you're gonna list all the points,
Uh-huh.
you start with the zeros first.
You could start wherever you wanted. And you really don't have to you don't have to list those. I just wanted to show you could, and then make the connection that you really didn't have to. But you could start wherever you wanted, okay? Did you have a question, honey?
Yeah, could you, instead of like writing out the entire points, just write the x values like that?
You know, honestly, if the directions were like this, you wouldn't have to do anything except write the word yes, because they didn't ask you to do that. I'm just trying to show you. Everybody good? Okay, look at question 3. If the point 3, 6 is on the graph of the function f of x, is how you say that, give the coordinates of a point that you know is not on the graph. Everybody try. Everybody in the room, quietly though. Write it on your paper, okay? Okay, now you're going to talk to somebody. So you 3 right here are going to pair up with these 2. One of you is going to have a bigger group. This row right here, you're going to turn and go this way. and you guys just find somebody. So turn around and talk to somebody, and I'm going to give you 30 seconds to discuss the answer to it, okay? Go ahead. I should hear lots of talking right now.
So is that mean just like
for the Y value.
Okay, that's it. Okay? Tell me your name, sweetheart. Michelle. Okay, so you guys, we're going to do work on whiteboards. We're going to get in groups. Every person in this room is going to have an opportunity to stand up and present things to people. So this, you have to get used to talking and making mistakes, and nobody is ever going to be mean to you. Nobody's ever going to giggle or be rude, because we're all going to make mistakes. I'm going to make mistakes, and you guys are going to be, just tell me, well, is that supposed to be a 2 and not a 7? I'll be like, oh, thank you so much. Michelle, what did you guys talk about?
We just said it could be any point that has the same x value, but a different y value.
Okay, give me an example.
3, -6.
3 comma, say it again.
-6.
-6. Why? You're right. Why? Explain that.
Because it has the same x values.
Yeah, because they can't have the same x's. If they have the same x's, then it's no longer, what's the big word in this problem, everybody? Function. Everybody highlight the word function. It has to be a function. Raise your hand if you understand that. Just give me a quick raise. Let's see. Good. When I ask who understands it, this doesn't count. I need this, because what I do is I say, who's with me? Do quick scan, go. So it's got to be quick. And this kind of means, I kind of understand it. Who understands? Let me see. Good. Awesome. You guys are great. Okay, here we go. Now, this is important right here. Okay? If they say something like this, y is a function of x. Okay? It should say not as. That should be is. So that's a typo. Okay? Let me give you an example. Okay? So time is a function, write this down for me, okay? Anything I write, you write, of temperature. Oh, let me see, output. Let me go the other way. Do it the other way. Temperature is a function of time. Is that true or false? Listen, it's 8 a.m., it's a certain temperature. 9 a.m., certain temperature. 10 a.m., certain temperature. Does it change as the day goes? Talk to me.
Yes.
Yes, it does. Here's what's so important. Look right here. Temperature is listed first, okay? So the first thing they list is the output. The second thing that's listed right there, which is time, is the x, which is the input, okay? So it's always going to be output is a function of input. You need to remember that, okay? Okay, what comes in is the x, and it's called the independent variable. That's easy because I and I, independent input. That's easy to remember, right? The other thing is you always put it on the x-axis. So everybody draw an xy axis right there. And right here, I want you to put the word inputs. So the input is independent. It's the x. It always goes on the horizontal axis, okay? The y is the output. It's what comes out of the equation, and it's the dependent, okay? So this right here on the y-axis is where you label the output, okay? All right, domain. This is important. All these things are super important. You're going to see it. Domain is what goes in. We talked about that. Practical domain. I don't know why, but students last year and the year before kept struggling. I don't understand practical. I don't understand practical. I don't understand practical. It's just what makes sense. So write this down. Everybody go, y equals 20x plus 50. I'm making it up. That's an equation. It's a line. If I graph the line, it would look something like that. X can be anything. X can be positive, X can be negative. The domain is anything. But if I tell you that X stands for time and that Y stands for temperature, can you have a negative X? Now, practically, does it make sense that a time would be negative? Talk to me about that. No. So see how easy that is? Practical domain just means what makes sense according to what these things stand for. And a negative works for the equation. It's part of the domain. But when you think about it practically, what it stands for, negatives do not make any sense at all. Who's with me? Raise your hand. Okay, don't forget that. That's easy, right? It's a confusing point for people. I don't know why. Range is the same idea, guys. Look, range is what comes out. You guys know that goes on the y-axis, right? The practical range is what makes sense, okay? Now, I won't even go there. I was going to say, could you have y equals 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit?
No.
See, but then it's kind of debatable. I think it could be, but if it was 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, would it go up in flames? You know what I mean? I don't know, because I don't know enough about temperature.
Well, are you
So,
talking temperature like the outside weather or
yeah,
something?
yeah.
Something?
Temperature, or even of, you know, a substance. I think it depends on the substance. So that's why practical gets kind of weird, because it's kind of debatable. 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, is that even really a thing? Or would we just burn up and it would be gone, and then it's not a thing? You know what I mean? So it's a little bit debatable. Okay, function notation. You're going to have to get used to this a lot. So this right here, that's function notation. I want you to say it right. So the way that you say it is f of x. So say it right, okay? F of x. Everybody look at question 4. I want you, you've been given a set of points. Everybody draw an arrow right there. Listen how easy it is to think about it. Are you used to seeing f of x, or are you used to seeing f of y? Tell me which one. X. So I want you to put right here x value. Now we're going to write a sentence about what they're asking us, okay? In f, comma, in that set of numbers, if x, somebody tell me what to put, equals -3, what do they want to know? Finish the question. What is y? Yeah, that's it. That's what they're asking you. Would I ever expect you to write that sentence down on a homework assignment? No. We're taking notes so we remember. Now let's answer the question. Look at that right there. Look at f. If x is a -3, what's y? Everybody tell me.
1.
1. That's easy, right? So everybody go f of -3 is equal to 1. Take your highlighter, and that's how you're going to write your answer. Okay, let's do the next one. Draw an arrow to the 1. Tell yourself that's an x value. Then in your mind you say, well, I know they're saying if x is 1, then what's y? Everybody in the room, what's the answer? -2. You guys are awesome. Highlight it, and you're done. Look at question C. This is different. Here's my x. So this guy must be my, tell me, that's my y value. Let's write a sentence. In f, comma, if, somebody tell me what to write.
Y equals
If y is equal to 5, comma, tell me what the question is. What is x? You guys are so awesome. Look at the points. Y is 5. What's x? Everybody tell me. 4. So write down x equals 4. Take your highlighter, highlight it, and you're done. Yes, honey?
Would there ever be a situation when it would ask you what a certain value was, but it wasn't functioning?
No, not on this, because in the original problem, they said it was a function. You know what I mean?
If that was the case, then would you put just like does not exist?
If it's not there, I would put does not exist. If there were two of them, I would list two of them. I don't think you're ever going to see it. Okay? Okay, good, honey. Okay, here we go. Question 5. This is our last problem, I believe. It's last and it's long. Okay. We have about 10 minutes. Your family's going boating. Your family does not like crowds. The later it gets, the more boats there will be on the lake. This is a funny lake because it's only opened from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Just a very short amount of time. The table below demonstrates the number of boats that will be on the lake at different times. The number of boats is a function of time. Everybody come right here and highlight boats. Then highlight time. You tell me, don't look at your notes, and I want you to try to remember what we've done. Is the boats, which is listed first, is that the output or is that the input? Which one is it? It's output. So everybody put an arrow, and I want you to put output is a function of input. Remember, that's always the order. Output is a function of input. So what's the input? We just did that. It's time. That's the X. It's what you put in. The output is the number of boats. It's what comes out. Is this a function? Look at it. Yes, it is. Now, here's the hard part. Why or why not? Don't tell me this. No X values repeat. That's thinking way down here, and I expect you to think way up here. So I want you to talk about time, and I want you to talk about boats. Time and boats. Somebody try. Go ahead, thank you.
Is it because the boat or the times don't repeat? And
Times don't repeat. Keep going. Go ahead.
Is it because it has a practical domain?
It's part of the practical domain. Yes. What else? Look at this. You're the boat manager. I'm the lake owner. I'm the lake owner, right? So I say to you, boat manager, how many boats were on the water today at 6 a.m.? Because I want to know if we're making money. And you, being the boat manager, you say 42 and 61. Then I fire you because that doesn't make sense. 42 and 61. Would you ever give me two numbers? Why wouldn't he give me two numbers?
Only one Y value can correspond with that.
Yeah. Okay, everybody do this. Underneath there, I want you to write 6 a.m. and then I want you to put 20. And then I want you to think about that. Would they ever report another 6 a.m. for a different number of boats? Talk to me about that. No, that would be silly, right? It's either 12 or it's 20, but it's not both. How many were there? Not two different numbers right at 6 a.m., okay? So I want you to write that down, and then I want you to